Hey guys, welcome back to Von Kettle Kitchen. Tonight I am making a jalapeno popper chicken casserole. I'm going to serve it on top of just a bed of white rice. So I have a jalapeno pepper plant that is just producing and producing and producing, and it's huge. And I also bought a bunch of chicken from Walmart and pre-packaged it out. I'll show a picture after this clip. So now we're going to get started. Hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and hit the little bell on the bottom just so you can get notified when a new video gets uploaded. Let's get started. Alright, so I did start prepping my jalapenos. I did keep one so I can show you how I cut it. The jalapenos heat is in the ribs and the seeds. Also, in a jalapeno, these are pretty smooth. If you see them just start to crack, that means they're getting spicier. This here is the chicken that I got from Walmart. I am using 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese. That is just my preference. I'm going to use some cheese. I have a bowl ready. So we're going to chop up this jalapeno. We're going to chop up this chicken. You can leave it just flat or whole. You can cut it in half and put it in a casserole dish, but I feel it being cubed up into chunks is more of a casserole. So we're going to get going on the chopping. So I personally just cut the jalapeno in half. I just use a teaspoon. I go under, push through down to the bottom, and it is now empty. I'm going to do the same with this one, and I've already done it to the other. I have 5 jalapenos here. You want about a half a pound of jalapeno peppers, which is about 5 to 6. These are the biggest ones I still had on my plant themselves. So let me throw away this stuff. All right, so the jalapenos are going to be put aside for a second. I'm going to put the 8 ounces of cream cheese in this bowl. I have the oven preheated to 375 degrees. And put the brick in there. I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, a pinch of pepper. Don't want a lot because you do have the jalapenos. Do a little bit of salt. Cheese does have salt in it itself. You don't want to over salt because you can't get rid of salt. Can't take it away. So I'm going to put in. So we'll put about 4 ounces of cheddar cheese in there, and I'm going to actually let this sit on top of the stove as the stove is heating up. And now I'm going to slice the jalapenos into strips. You can always do more than one at a time. Make sure you always keep your fingers tucked when you're cutting. Don't want to cut your fingers off. You always want the knife against your knuckle. That way, you're not going to get the tips of your fingers. Put those aside, and we're gonna get our chicken breast out. I have about 2 pounds of chicken. I have the baking dish sprayed. So what I'm gonna do is just cube up these breasts. actually going to dice the jalapenos as well, just so it can mix in a little better. And it's okay that I'm cutting it on the same board I cut the chicken, because it's all going in the same pan. So I'm going to put that aside, and I need to chop up some bacon as well. Before I chop the bacon, I'm going to put some salt and pepper on the chicken itself. And the nice thing about chicken is that it kind of takes on the flavor that you're cooking with, because it's such a blank palette. So I'm going to do a little bit of that. A little bit of garlic powder. A little bit of onion powder. Garlic powder and onion powder are best friends. And I'm also going to put on a little bit of ground mustard. I just like the background note flavor that ground mustard gives a dish. I actually put it in my chilies as well. Let me grab a fork. Actually, you know what? It's home cooking. So I'm going to mix that all in. Now the jalapenos are going to go on top of that. If you do just whole chicken breast, you can leave them sliced and just lay the slices of jalapenos over the whole chicken breast. Run away. All right. Make sure it's everywhere. I'm gonna kind of push it in there. All right, let me give my hands a rinse. Put this aside for a moment. Now that cream cheese mixture that we did, we are going to use a fork to mash all of the ingredients together. You could definitely use a food processor if you want to. It will chop up the cheese a little better, but by hand is fine. So let's continue to do that. This will take about a minute to work in. So I've always learned, really and truly and honestly, the two best tools in the kitchen are your hands. So I'm going to dollop this over the top. You can use a low-fat cream cheese if you want to, but the only thing with that is it doesn't melt as well as the full-fat cream cheese. And definitely do not use the fat-free cream cheese if you're trying to make a healthier version. It's just, it doesn't melt, it doesn't come out the same. I apparently can't multitask when I cook, since I'm being so quiet. All right, flatten that one out a little bit. Move this aside again. I'm gonna give my hands a quick rinse again. So now we're gonna chop up the bacon. I had pre-made bacon already for the week. You want to put it in a 375-degree oven. You want to put it on a slotted pan, like a broiler pan that's come with your oven. If you don't have that broiler pan anymore, which a lot of people don't, you can always get another one. 2, you can just use a cookie sheet and just a wire rack. This promotes even cooking time, and it gets crispy all the way around. It doesn't just sit in the fat and stay soggy on one side. All right. So the bacon will go on 5 minutes before it's done, so it can heat through. This is now going to go into the oven for about 40 minutes. So, we're going to let this cook. And we'll see you in a little bit. All right, so I have 5 more minutes until it's done. I'm going to put the crumbled bacon on top. And this is just a half a pound of bacon. And I always do thick cut as well. I'll put this back in the oven for another 5 minutes. And then we'll serve. All right, so I just used some quick microwave rice. Put a little butter in it. Put a little pepper in it. I'm gonna start plating up dinner. All right, and let's pull out the chicken. Yum. You can smell the bacon on top of that. Shut the oven off. I'll flatten this out. And we are going to serve. So I want to give you a little sneak peek of what it looks like. So it looks like coming out of the oven. So now we're going to serve this bad boy up. I'm just using a slotted spoon since there's a bunch of juice that's in there. Hot tamales. And I'm actually going to take some of that juice, since it is flavored with all of the cream cheese and the chicken and the spices. It's just like having an instant gravy. All right, all done. Hope you guys enjoy.